Today, we're going all in on OpenAI's Codex. We're going to build a website, we're going to build a web app, and then we're going to review some code that I built in Claude Code for another project of mine. Now, I'd like to just take a moment to shout out somebody in the community, in Crafter YT. Thank you so much for your time, first of all, commenting your questions. Yeah, this video is just for you and anybody else who's interested in OpenAI's Codex. But that's what this channel is all about. Building in public, making content, not only for me that I selfishly want to make, but also for you. So keep the comments coming. I hope you found some value in this video. And thank you so much for being here. All right. So I am on openai.com/codex. There are two options here. We can install an extension for any of these IDEs, or we can run it in the terminal. Now, what I'm going to do first is we're going to grab this, and I already have a project created here in Cursor, and we're just going to run this command. Beautiful. So now it's just like Claude Code. You just type in Codex in this case. And look at that. Welcome to Codex, OpenAI's command line coding agent. So we're going to sign in with ChatGPT, and this is where you sign in with your account. I use Google Sign-On. Keep it super simple and continue. All right, so now we can close this page, and when we go back here, we should be signed in. Before you start, decide how much autonomy you want to grant Codex. Codex can make mistakes, powered by your ChatGPT account. Wonderful. All right, so we are going to require approval of edits. I don't want it to just YOLO mode, although YOLO mode is sometimes fun. It can get a little stressful if it does something you don't want it to do or break something you didn't intend on breaking. All right. So, but now I also want to take the liberty of showing off this extension because it's really, really cool. So we're going to open up, it's going to open up this extension page for us, and we're just going to install. And since we already logged in via terminal here, we're not going to need to log in again. And this is where you pop down this menu, go down to Codex. You can alternatively click this icon here on the top right-hand side, and it should open up this window as well. And it has its own kind of like chat window. It does hide the files. I wish it was separate, but there might also be a way to... Nope, it's not as simple as dragging and dropping. So, but let's get started here. Okay, we're going to use this prompt today. It's available in the prompt library, which isn't yet live, but I'm already starting to get some requests in the community to push this live. So I do want to take the opportunity first to review all of the prompts that are in there, delete anything that doesn't provide value. And honestly, I want to be able to confidently say that I've tried every prompt in the prompt library. So we'll get there. But as you can see here, we set a role, we give a task, we give context and constraints and the output, okay? I will paste a copy of this prompt in the YouTube description. And we're just gonna get started here. All right. So it built a conversion-focused, mobile-first layout covering hero, featuring highlights, social proof, facts, and CRO-focused call to actions with semantic structure and animated micro interactions. Okay, delivered pricing table, wired content. Okay, looks good. So before we take these next steps, I want to set up a preview on port 6069. And what this is going to allow us to do is just go to our web browser, type in localhost 6069. Now, chances are we do need to approve something here, so let's wait a moment. Approve. All right, let's see here. Okay, I like cookies, personalized content. We're going to decline. Start free trial, see how it works. Okay, definitely needs some work, but look at how quickly this spun everything up. I mean, I'll have to do a video and go side by side Codex and Claude Code to compare. Ooh, I need to write that down. But I'm loving the look and feel. Definitely needs a lot of fine tuning for my taste. But I love it. So since this is going to be for an audit scanner, I probably should have called it something a little different. GEO extension is not the right term that I would have wanted. Everything is linked though. Everything works. Now, what is this? Oh, this accordion's way too big. So this is where I would take a picture, right? And okay. So for the sake of this demo, we are going to do some minor changes, but I think we're almost at a good stopping point. Rename this landing page, GEO. We're going to leave it. We're going to leave it. For the FAQ section, this should be more of an accordion, more of a list view with the accordion functions. As you can see here, and we're going to give it context. We're going to go to my desktop and just grab the latest screenshot. All right, we're just going to vibe with this. And I like it. But what I would honestly do is, separate this section a little bit better. Maybe add some type of video background or image-based background. Yeah, I think it might have also kind of missed the beat quite a bit as to what this tool is for. But, for the sake of the demo, right, I definitely made a mistake on not giving it more context, but I love the structure, right? I love how it's all one page. It's not separate pages. Each one of these clicks really directs you down to what you want. And then at the very end, it's book a tailored demo or need enterprise pricing, which I think is cool. I think what I would do instead is combine this form into one and then add a need enterprise pricing call to action below schedule demo. And I'm gonna, for the contact forms, let's remove the enterprise form and make it a pop-up module that sits at the footer of the schedule a live demo contact form in the form of a button labeled and I'm going to add this as well. And I'm really taking a similar approach as if I were just talking to Claude Code. Let's see what it does. But overall, just the structure, I like it. I like the structure, but this is where we vibe. This is where we fine tune. And for the sake of today's demo, I'm not going to go too much into that. We're just going to ask it to do a few things and see how it responds. It is thinking quite a bit, though. A little too long for my liking here. And in the meantime, let's see if we can refresh. Nice. Much better. Okay, so it's still working, but it is, updating the code base real time. And just like Claude Code, we can kind of go in and preview if we did set up the localhost preview. I'm sure alternatively, you can do that here as well. If you go and right click, depending on your tech stack though, you can't always show the preview through this method, but this should also, should show you the similar thing, but I like previewing it in a web browser because that also allows me to kind of do this really easily to then kind of test it for different resolutions real time. So this would be the mobile kind of, and we can see that it is responsive, which is great. Okay. Man, I gotta say, I'm impressed with the layout. It missed the beat on the purpose of the tool, but this is where we provide as much context. If we were to build this, from the perspective of a service-based business or a freelancer, you simply provide, obviously, your industry, the services that you provide, give it as much context as possible, and it would nail it on the first go. So, but for the sake of this demonstration, I think we did use Codex. I will say that I'm not sure, it's taking incredibly long to complete all this. But it is doing its thing. So now moving on to, let's wait for this to finish here. We can already see the changes have applied, which is great. And the accordion is working exactly how I'd imagine it to work. All right. Perfect. Wonderful. It did a great job on kind of vibing. Took a little longer than I would have liked. And this is going to lead me to making another video of giving Codex and Claude Code the same exact prompt and seeing which one can go from start to finish, rating it based off of speed, quality, and how many times we have to alter the information or how many times we have to prompt to get a desired final output. So, but I think we're at a great point here. This is a demonstration. We're not going to use this landing page for anything. I just wanted to build it out and see how it worked. And I got to say, I'm impressed with the first output. So let's move on to building a web app. Let's build it separately. Because this time now I want to use the terminal rather than using the extension. So we're going to open a project, scan, and we're going to open. All right, here we go. Hide that agent, pop down our terminal. Okay, so now let's get started in this fresh. We're going to load up Codex. And this is where we're going to vibe. And before we get started here, I already took the liberty of drafting a PRD in Claude, and it did use Sonnet 4.5. It did take 30 minutes to build this out, but let's go ahead and copy all of this information here. You are a senior UX UI developer with fundamental knowledge and experience with traditional SEO, new age GEO, and sales funnel conversion tactics. Please build me a website based on the following PRD. A web app and we're going to paste that in there. And it's going to get to work. Now, I hope it doesn't miss the beat here. I believe I did mention, let's keep it simple. Yeah, the home page should be a simple UI that has an empty search bar. In the center, the tool should analyze its visibility on LLM search engines. Wonderful. So it's created a plan here. It's defined project scope, architecture, and UX flows to align to our PRD. Now it's designed. I mean, it's moving quick. Wait, it's read only. Whoops. So you do have to give it access. Definitely looks more like a web app now. It's actually writing to the directory. So rookie mistake on my part. Let it be known. For future reference, you want to give Codex full access to the directory of the project. I gotta say, compared to our first part of this video where we used this extension, I think the terminal's working much, much quicker than the extension did. So I'm already leaning on the side of working out of the terminal rather than using that extension. It was a fun experiment though, and it did the job, so can't be mad at it. All right. Did it really set up the preview on 6068? Let's see. Nope. We have to initialize that. But we have some runtime errors. Okay. Yeah, that was taking too long. But I just interrupted it because I did notice the preview was working. So now I'm letting it know we have some errors, so it should be resolving them. Go. Pretty basic looking site. Kind of like it. It missed the beat. I really just wanted interesting. Definitely went above and beyond with what I wanted. Oh, these are things that we have to add in. But, I mean, it is, we're getting there. Now, what just happened? Is it working in the background? It bricked it. Now, I understand for the sake of the demo, I probably should have built something a little easier, but I really wanted to try something different, try something unique, and kind of go through the pains of discovering errors and resolving them together. in a vibe coding, first mindset. Okay. Let's see. I'm shocked it doesn't do this for us, but it's just letting us know, restart the dev server. So that's what we'll do. All right. Run a free audit, and we're just going to run. Let's grab OpenAI. Interesting. So it has preset queries. Hit continue. Audit scheduled. We're running your 10 query audit across Perplexity. Expect results in your inbox. Love it. Ooh. It did good. Now, this is all placeholder text, of course. We would have to. Interesting. That's broken. Reports. Report templates. So this is kind of giving us a placeholder professional. Upgrade view plans. Okay, that's still something we'd have to build out. But we have the skeleton of a GEO audit tool. And I gotta say, I love the starting point here. Now, this is where I would vibe. This is a nice skeleton that we have here. Now, this is all placeholder demo data. I didn't configure any API keys to actually prompt. There's a few dead links in here, but I think we're at a great stopping point for this part of the demo is, Codex did most of the heavy lifting. Now, this is where I would personally go in with a tool like Whisper Flow, and I would start recording, using my function, my right control key or my right shift key. And I would talk, straight plain English as I'm browsing the preview saying, okay, dashboard, let's make sure that we remove demo data. I really like the chart distribution here. Let's add some fun colors to kind of split things up. And these top 3 wins should be clickable pop-up modules that allow you to kind of view more in depth. Pricing table is obviously not working, so this is where I would mention, build out the pricing sheet. What else here? Run audit. Now, it's not going to show anything in our inbox. GEO playbooks. Yeah, learn section isn't there as well. So this is just a very basic skeleton of something special. And I think we're at a great stopping point for this part of the demonstration. I wanted to keep it simple, and I probably should have built something a little more simple, but yeah. All right. So now what we want to do last but not least is we want to use Codex to actually build out or to review code. So this is a project that I've been working on, super top secret, but I've teased the prompt browser. But I also want to, get it ready for production. And I have my own checklist to follow through. I'm going to be using CodeRabbit as well to analyze the code. But before I get to that point, since I'm still fine-tuning the prompt library to make sure each and every prompt was tested by me, let's use Codex to review this code base. Ask, I do not want it to give it full access, right? I want it to ask. Now, please analyze this code base. It's a web app I built with Claude Code. I'm getting ready for a soft launch. So please look into the code base for potential vulnerabilities and give me your recommendations to prepare this site, this web app, for a production environment. Okay. And it's going to do its thing. So it's reviewing repository structure to identify backend, front-end, and configuration files. It's going to assess the backend and API implementation for any security issues. It's going to evaluate the front-end and deployment configuration for vulnerabilities and production readiness. And then last but not least, it's going to summarize findings and provide hardening recommendations. I really love this use case for Codex, to be honest. Because so far, I haven't made a video for this yet, comparing Codex and Claude Code. Top of mind speed. I feel like Claude Code is faster based off of today's video, today's demonstration. But I won't know for sure until I do a side-by-side demo. So I think I'm going to do that later today. I haven't written a script for that video, but it's going to be one of those shooting from the hip videos that I think is going to be very valuable to you. And we're going to build a web app side by side. We're going to give it the same exact prompt. We're probably going to keep it simple and do a service-based landing page, service business-based landing page. That way you can use it for your clients, or you, the business owner who's watching this or that video, can pick your preferred agentic coding tool to build out your new website. So now it's doing its thing. We still have Claude Code enabled here on the left. I mean, this is a great use case here, kind of using them side by side, giving them each their own, tasks. Now, as you can see here, just a little sneak peek is every week I create 10 new prompts and then I test them. When I first populated this library, I did populate some with some placeholders. So I'm still going through and I'm deleting the ones that I feel like don't give you value. This is why this site isn't launched yet. But I will be doing a soft launch, I'd imagine, sometime in October. So by the time you see this video, it should be live. It's even mentioning there's a lot here. Yeah, I mean, I've spent a lot of time on this prompt browser here, quite a bit of time. And what's even crazier is I had a working model that I loved, but I wasn't using Git yet for that project, right? It was still in its very, very early prototype stages. And I was doing some file manager just maintenance in Finder. And damn Mac OS X, I merged two folders together with the same name. The merging folder that was coming in was empty. And it overwrote everything that was in the folder that had so much data populated. And I really, really loved the model. But you know what? I did end up with something a little bit. I had to fine tune it quite a bit, but I'm happy with where we're at. Oh, we got to turn on that light. Let's see. 5 minutes. That's it. Only 5 minutes. I love it. And it's completed all the tasks. It's doing it in less than 10 minutes, easy. I honestly thought it might have taken a little bit longer than that, but this is just kind of goes to show the speed in Codex. It's letting us know some critical issues. Okay, so it's just letting me know. Assume FTP username and password for your live host. Or hard code them. I love it. All right. Wow, this is great. Now, I'm not going to do this live, but look at the value in using Codex to analyze that code base. I don't think anything. And I'm going to take, there's a reason that this tool isn't live yet is because I haven't gone through this pre-production checklist of hardening the app to make sure that people can't manipulate the web app and grant themselves premium access, as well as, data that we use to build the app isn't exposed, such as FTP server or API key usage. So yeah, I'm loving, this is a great stopping point. I hope you found some value in today's demonstration. I just showed you 3 ways to use Claude Code in today's powerhouse of a video. I think I've been recording my main screen record share for 2 hours now. So you're only going to see the insanely condensed version of this video, but this just took 2 hours to record, which I love. I want to do more videos like this where we just do a deep dive and do multiple tasks, multiple builds within one video. And yeah, these demonstrations aren't meant to be perfect. They're meant to serve as a demonstration to show you how easy it is to just start, to just use it, to build something, and then to vibe with it. So hope you found some value in today's video. I'm not an AI expert. I'm building in public and sharing what actually works. If you'd like to see me make a particular video about a specific topic, drop a comment below. Let me know who you are, what you do, who your target audience is, and what your question is, and I will add a video to my queue, custom tailored just for you. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. My name is Marcelo. This is Clearmud, and clarity matters.